Good day to you and welcome back to the channel. Well, I have the Royal Saturn. You've seen this before. I did a video about it a few months ago. I'll put a link down in the description for that video. This is basically the same typewriter as a Royal Mercury made by Silver Seiko in Japan, but it's a type bar electric. It's called the Saturn instead of the Mercury, perhaps named after the U.S. space program or named after an ancient Roman god, whatever. But it is a really nice typewriter. It is one of the quietest type bar electrics I've ever seen or heard, and also one of the smallest. I really like the appearance of this robin's egg blue body, and it has a clamshell case that fits over it. So, when I first got this typewriter, cleaned it up, got a new ribbon in it, I was pretty happy with it, but then as I started using it, I noticed that the imprint was a little heavy and a little sloppy, like too dirty, like the loops and the letters were being filled in. It was just kind of too dirty for me, and I kind of set it aside and started not using it. Even though I was using other type bar electrics, much bigger and heavier ones. Well, today I decided this machine is too pretty and too nice just to ignore, and maybe there's a way I can adjust the tension or how hard the type bars are hitting the platen. So I dug into it, and I think I might have found a fix to the problem. Stay tuned. Okay, so this is the drive pulley that drives the fluted shaft underneath the type bar linkages. Here's the motor pulley over here. It's using a flat belt. This is the original drive belt. Well, it has this tension system. There is a slotted shaft here, and this is kind of a controlled slip, controlled like slip clutch. So whenever there's a lot of load under the spindle here, this thing can vary the amount of tension that it delivers between the motor and the drive shaft itself. And there's a spring here, and there's 5 positions, and it was on the middle position that I have marked here with ink. So I was figuring that the drive system was driving it too hard. I wanted to reduce the drive tension, so I put the spring on the lightest setting. So this makes the spring the least amount of tension on this lever because it's pulling on it near the base of the lever. Less leverage, if you will, on that shaft. So, and having done this, it makes a dramatic difference in the amount of force that the type bars are hitting against the paper. Makes it much more normal. A nice, pleasing imprint. Okay, so this is the imprint quality on this 30-pound paper before I reduced the tension of the drive pulley. And you can see a lot of the letters are just filled in and dirty. Like, look at this word interplanetary, just really dirty. And then right here is when, after I adjusted the spring tension on the drive pulley so it's the lightest setting, and it's just a dramatic difference in cleanliness of imprint without even cleaning the type slugs. The type slugs have not been cleaned. So that was with this 30-pound paper with another 30-pound backing sheet. Now this is much thinner paper, more like printer paper, very thin, and it's a single sheet. And pardon the typos, but I still have not cleaned the type slugs, and it just looks so much better than it did before. All of this dramatic change in typing quality brought to you by adjusting the drive pulley tension. So I also noticed that there was some black fibers from the ribbon itself that were kind of starting to collect on the type guide area here around the anvil. And I think what was happening was, because of that increased tension on the drive pulley, it was starting to put an excess force, kind of like starting to shred the ribbon or hitting it with such force that it was starting to damage it. So hopefully this ribbon here will be less damaged in the future as we go on. And I should make mention that this is a 9/16 inch ribbon, and I acquired it from Ribbons Unlimited, and I will put a part number down in the description for you. So when I first got this machine and worked on it, I added all of these styrofoam blocks back here, and also these blocks up here, closer to the keyboard, and on the other side as well. I also put in this heavy layer of 1/4 inch or maybe 5 or 6 millimeter thick hard foam rubber on the bottom of it, is also for sound insulation, but I left it open where the vent holes for the motor on the bottom of the chassis, I left that open, of course, for ventilation. Okay, well, to get the body shell back on, you have to play some games with the carriage, kind of fitting it around the carriage, if I can remember how it happens, how it works. Something like that. Then these clips have to be attached back, sides, and underneath the black bezel in the front. And then a couple screws, these long ones here. And it is really super quiet, even quieter with the ribbon cover on. Okay, so to put the ribbon cover on, the ribbon cover has 2 metal posts, and they fit into these grommets right here and on the other side, just sort of like that. And yes, the motor is running still. Super cool little electric typewriter. So the manual Royal Mercury uses a standard 1/2 inch wide ribbon, but the Saturn uses a 9/16 inch wide ribbon. Not really sure why, because the carriage and the segment and the type bar area looks to be pretty much the same. I think you could get away with an all black 1/2 inch ribbon, however, on this machine. But I did get a 9/16 inch ribbon from Lanny at Ribbons Unlimited. In fact, I put a little sticker here on the typewriter of the part number and the phone number to Ribbons Unlimited in case I forgot it. And I'll put a link down below to Lonnie's website if you're interested in getting some ribbons from him. So he's a great source for these kind of oddball ribbons. But 9/16 inch ribbon, you could probably make a 1/2 inch work for a single color only. Yeah, this is a really sweet typewriter because it's small, extremely quiet, fast typing, and it has just a joy to it of using it. It doesn't have the problems with small manual typewriters of less than optimal touch or feel, because on manual typewriters, especially small ones, there are intrinsic design compromises to make the machine so small, so usually the touch is not quite as nice. But on these electric machines, oh, they're quick and they're rapid and they're so easy to use. So really excited about this fix I was able to do by reducing the tension on the metal drive pulley, like the clutch basically on it, and I hope to put this machine back into circulation soon in my collection. In any event, I'd love to hear from you. Do you have any type bar electrics in your collection? Do you enjoy using them? Let's have a conversation. Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. In any event, all of this is for, of course, the purpose of creative writing, having fun writing on our wonderful typewriters. And I wish you the very best in your writing ventures. Have a great day. Bye-bye for now.